Hello, you're watching Stretford Paddock. We're here for the Paddock Podcast. It's just me and Adam today.
I know,
it's a lonely, quiet studio on a Friday, isn't it, sometimes?
It is. There's not that many people who stuck around, have there? I think everyone's on a night out tonight, though.
Unbelievable. Mitz is on a night out. Callum's not on a night out because he's boring. But we're going to be talking about a little bit about the Bruges game, a little bit about the Watford game, a little bit about Fernandes, and also let us know at home what you're doing with your big Friday night. Come on, it's Friday night podcast. We don't usually do these. We usually do them on a Thursday, but obviously the game was yesterday. So we're here with a Friday night podcast. Let us know what you're doing on Friday night. What are you doing tonight?
I'm actually going out tonight. I know.
Not like you.
I know, not like me at all. Cans.
See, I'm not on the cans yet. Professional.
But you've got a show later that is
I have
sponsored
got a
by
show
Cans.
later. Yeah, we've got Late Night Live coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. The first one in 2 weeks.
I know.
I was ill last week. Valentine's Day got me down.
Look, but the longer the longer you leave it, the better it is. You know, when you you want
like
it a bit
Parmesan, that show.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, let's have a little talk about the Bruges game yesterday.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'll be honest.
Shit.
I missed every goal because I was out the room. Do you like when you run out the room, Joe? It's like just pop the kettle on, you come back in, goal. And I jumped in the shower, come out, goal.
I mean, to be fair,
brilliant.
having a shower while the game's on, you're asking for it, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I don't really do that because of that reason. And I sort of diced with death and it didn't work out well. But seeing all the highlights and then I've seen all the second half, of course. And I think overall, goal, you get the away goal, you're only halfway through the tie, it's not game over yet, whatever. No. You play that side as well. You got a pretty poor side out, all things considered. Yeah, it's not that good, do you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, people have a go at Solskjaer for playing a weakened side, but that's just our team. There's only 4 changes in the outfield players. It wasn't like, it was like 8 changes. Yeah. Ethan Laird's playing, we've got fucking Lewis Hamilton playing at centre-back. It was like, that defence is our first-choice defence. The midfield was, we still had like 2 of the first-choice players. There was only Pereira, Lingard, Mata, and who was the other one who doesn't? And Dallo. Yeah, were the only ones that aren't in our first choice. It wasn't like it was like, they've played the second team. Yeah, it's basically the first team. We're just shit. You can't play Fernandes 90 minutes every game. We'll be too tired.
Yeah, this is what people were thinking. It was like, we've got to play Fernandes now because he's, we've had the winter break, so it means that he's fit every other game. Like, no, he's not. We've got 3 games in 6 days. Just calm down. Yeah. We've got to bed him in a little bit. We've got Watford at the weekend. Just give it a break. Yeah. But 1-1 away from home, I think it was pretty good. Fernandes' cameo we'll get onto in a bit. But yeah, good result, all things considered. I mean, Martial's goal was very opportunistic. I was reading online about 0 clear-cut chances. How true that is, I'm not 100% sure. But
I saw that, but I was running through on goal one-on-one with the goalkeeper inside the 18-yard box, not a clear chance.
Exactly, because you've made the chance yourself. Yeah. I'm surely, like, if Martial passed the ball to, say, someone running in behind, then is that, a clear-cut chance?
It has to come from a pass from a United player. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. I don't get it at all.
No, I don't really understand it. But yeah, it's not the worst result. We're seeing the stats there, 16 shots, 4 on target. Bit boring, but just fine, isn't it? It's just a bit of a shit performance, decent result.
Look, as well, I mean, in the Europa League, when we won it under Jose, we had very similar performances, very similar results. I always remember Rostov away was like a horrible, horrible game to sort of be involved with. I think that ended 1-1, and I think the return leg only ended 1-0. And it's one of them where you go, in knockout competitions, you just got to grind with it.
Through. Yeah.
Because that is when it is a results-based business. That is when you go, that's like binary in terms of, if you win a game, you go through, and if you lose it, that's it, see in a bit, because that's how it works.
Yeah, you don't go straight to the semi-final if you win 8-0 on aggregate. It's like you still got to play the next round.
Yeah, there's no 6-pointers in cup finals and in cup matches, and there's no sort of like, well, if we lose this one, we can win the next few, and you can make up your points because they're playing X and Y team on the next round. So it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
I didn't think it was too bad. We'll talk about Bruno Fernandes a bit because he came on with 10 minutes to go and was United's best player, wasn't he?
It was. He just sort of was a level above everyone else where it was. They put it this way: do you like when the year 11s play against like the year 7s because like everyone else is away or like on a trip or something, and they just absolutely tear him to shreds? Yeah. It was that same level of like they were that calm and confident on the ball that everyone else around them was like, I don't know whether to go close to him. I don't know whether to run away from him. What do I do? And there was sort of this ambiguity that ended up making him make all these ridiculous chances. I mean, in 10 minutes, Bruno Fernandes, 100% pass accuracy, 5 final third passes, 4 shots, 2 passes into the box, 1 foul suffered, and completed a dribble. Now, we haven't got any stats to compare with there in terms of maybe what Lingard, Mata, and Pereira did.
I'm almost certain they didn't have 100% pass accuracy.
Exactly. When they're that good, and as well how well he played. I mean, the link-up play was just ridiculous in terms of the level above of what Pereira was doing. I mean, do you see what Pereira did when he was by the byline? when there was a bit where he had the ball in sort of like the right back position spot. I don't know what he was doing there, but he sort of got the ball and then he shuffled along, faked a shot, and then a player was closing him down, didn't fall for the dummy, and then he ran all the way at the byline and went to sort of boot it up, just get it out. Completely scuffed it and he went out for a throw-in. And he was there like, this is, what can I do wrong? And he said before the game, he was on about scoring goals, and he went, when I score a goal, it'll be like a bottle of ketchup. Once I score one, it'll all come at once. And I was like, bit of a weird analogy, that one, mate.
Yeah, I get he's like banging on the top of the bottle, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case with him. He just doesn't seem to have the quality to do that, does he?
No.
People arguing in the comments. Fine, argue away. Bruno Fernandes was obviously Van Persie was happy with him, wasn't he? Said the top players, you can tell straight away they have something to add. He's silky on the ball. He has that pass. He has a nice crossing shot. He's a joy to watch. Yeah, it's nice that he's come straight in and looks so good. Obviously, it draws attention to the fact that the team was, the midfield in particular was so shit before him.
Yeah.
And again, we saw that last night. But it's nice to have someone that comes in and genuinely looks a step above everyone else, because that means we're not just improving the squad, we're not just making numbers, we're improving the first team. And now, the work, Pereira or Lingard or whoever you think the worst midfielder we had before is now one step lower down. That is the squad filler. That is, they're the ones that are making up the numbers now. And you've got Fernandes taking their place in the first team, which is what you want from expensive signings like that. But he has looked excellent. Yeah,
and as well, it just goes to show that one player can make a difference sometimes. I mean, we all seen last season when Pogba turned up to the table that, he sort of did drag us through a lot of games for his goal contributions, for his assist contributions, and Bruno Fernandes has seemed to have that same level of impact without the whole emotional turmoil of, do I want to be here or do I not want to be here, and all the supposed injury issues that Paul's had. Bruno Fernandes genuinely wants to play for United. I mean, we struggled to sign a player that for about 18 months wanted to play for United and didn't want to be at Sporting Lisbon. He wanted to be at Manchester United. Now he's got that opportunity. He's grabbed it by both hands and he's trying to make a bit of a stamp on it now. And, Fernandes has come right into a side that wasn't doing too well at the time. The Burnley game as well was just such a poor sort of backdrop into his signing. Yeah, it was one of those games where you go, oh, God, this is pretty bad.
This is rock bottom.
Yeah, this, if we lose a few more,
bottom.
That's when you start going, the board's going to start asking questions of the management here. And that's, the cycle repeats itself. That's another argument all in itself. But what I'm getting at is the fact that Fernandes has come into a side and just made everyone look a lot better because he is just a genuinely good footballer.
Yeah.
And it boils down to the fact that players at United, just some of them, I mean, I get that some players, might not have pace and they might have a pass or they might have a pass and not have pace. Some of them are just genuinely woeful athletes and genuinely awful footballers.
Yeah.
That you go, any other football club with any standards would go, why would I want you? Name it, right. I'm just going to say, for example, right, Andreas Pereira.
Yeah.
You transfer list Andreas Pereira to a Premier League side.
Yeah.
Who is going to go, he's my number one target, I want him now. You're gonna be, right, top six is out of the equation.
Yeah.
None of them's having him. Mid-table are probably going to go, well, we've got all these other players that do the same level of shift.
At West Ham, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but he's a starter for Manchester United, which is good now because, Fernandes has come in and it shows that the board are actually going, no, we don't want him. We want actual quality up front. I didn't think Pereira would be this bad. I actually kind of enjoyed...
He's been all right before.
Yeah.
He's got worse.
Yeah, he was kind of good last season. And I remember the goal against Ipswich in the FA Cup, and it was like, he's cracking on a bit here now. He's got a few dead balls in him. One of my mates used to absolutely love Pereira and would always say, this lad's going places. But he's another one that's very symptomatic of what position does he actually play. First, it was like, I'm a number 10, actually.
He can play anywhere, but he's not good at anything.
He's a jack of all trades, master of none.
I think he's like a 7 of clubs of all trades, master of none. I think Jack is giving him a bit too much credit.
Yeah, true,
People talking about Werner in the comments. I really like Werner German Rooney. I've not seen enough of him. He looks like a decent player, but it's hard to know in it with strikers.
I watched the Spurs game against Leipzig, and he looked well dangerous.
Did he?
But the only issue is in this United side now that seems to be so Rashford orientated. He occupies the same position as him, and he sort of had that same run that when he got the ball, he had 2 defenders backing off him and would always sort of want to cut inside and have a shot. And it was like, obviously, great player Werner. We'll take him at United in a heartbeat. But if his best position is playing where we've already got a player who's probably worth more than him, and he's our best player, then, that's when you start
We don't need to replace Rashford.
Exactly. Rashford doesn't need replacing for what? another 10, 20 years. I mean, I'm the same age as Rashford, so when I need replacing, Rashford needs replacing.
Yeah, which is pretty soon. Someone saying LVG knocked out the Champions League in the group stage. I don't know what that's related to, but I think
knocked out at the Champions League group stage. I think that guy means. Yeah,
I think they're talking in the comments about the amount spent on the club and the amount spent on the side. United have definitely spent loads of money, just not at the right times or in the right places. I don't think that's in question. United have spent, either around $1 billion since Ferguson went. It's not like we're not spending money. We just spend money poorly and don't always buy the right players. Looking forward to the Watford game. Are you excited for the Watford game? We've done a preview which will be coming out tomorrow, so we can get into more of the details of that. But what are you looking forward to the game?
Yeah, because I feel like there's been a bit of an upturn in form. We've got Ighalo, who seems that, I've had some people in my family who've sort of gone is Ighalo sort of, what's he like? And I said, in terms of quality, we're not really 100% sure because China's sort of this vacuum of we don't really know the level of that league. Yeah. So if you could score 40 goals there, are you going to replicate that in any of the top 5 European leagues? I'm not 100%. But I said the one thing you can absolutely guarantee is the fact that he'll run his socks off to the last minute he plays at United because first Nigerian to play at United, he's immensely proud about that and all his countries behind him. His whole reason that he started to play football was to play for United. He's got all that behind him, and he's got 6 months to prove himself now. Yeah. So he's going to run himself in the ground.
Basically, a job interview in it that he's on at the minute. It's like, come on, have a little internship at United. Yeah. If you're good, we'll keep you on. If not, we won't. Yeah. He's playing for his life, really, isn't he? And obviously, he'll lose a bit of money. But if he can have added a year or two at Old Trafford to his CV.
Yeah, definitely.
He'll be, well happy with that.
Plus, as well, then you add Fernandes into that factor. You got Martial, who seems to be back amongst the goals. Eric Bailly, if he's fit, I know that he had a knock against Chelsea, but he's an absolute maniac. I love him. Yeah, he's back. There's all these Tuanzebe's back in full training. Scott McTominay's back in full training. There's starting to be players coming back whilst we're picking up form with the players we've already got. So that's kind of like a good omen in terms of we've got a little bit of squad depth now going forward. Because you remember that time where it was there was givens in every position, but they were shit. So you were
when
we
Pereira
have to play.
was playing literally every game.
Yeah, it's
like Sheffield United match, how bad we were in that game.
Yeah, that was dreadful,
Yeah, I think the midfield is the thing that just sort of everything else kind of builds around that, doesn't it? The defence looked pretty good. I think we're a bit shaky yesterday, but I think a lot of that is down to the midfield. But defending generally, we've got a few decent clean sheets recently.
Yeah, we've done quite well in the defensive factor.
We've got to beat Watford. Come on. Have we got to beat Watford?
Said this last time, though.
Come on, let's just beat Watford and let's not worry about it. Because they're not very good. They're on a bad run of form. They haven't got a new manager this time. They've got the same one, but he's not doing that well at the moment. Let's just fucking beat them.
This is out of context United material.
No, they're not. They don't watch this. They don't know what they're doing. I think we'll beat them. We've got to beat them. Do you think it's going to be this will be a big game for Solskjaer in terms of no one's going to give him much credit for beating Watford, are they? Even if we do win.
No, because Solskjaer should be expected to beat teams like Watford. Yeah. And, it's the record Solskjaer has against top 6 sides. I'm going to say top 6. I know it's not the top 6, but the top 6 that Sky have made up. The top 6 sides, he's done quite well against. In fact, very well against. Chelsea's done really good against recently. Yeah. Bear in mind as well, Chelsea used to be that side that was we will never get a point off him away from home.
No. And you're lucky to get a draw at home.
Exactly, yeah. They were a really, really strong side. Is that a detriment to how bad we've both fallen and they've somehow free fall below us? I don't know. But what I'm getting at...
But they're above us in the league, so it's not... we are particularly sort of difficult for them to beat.
And that brings me on to my next point, in that top 6 we're actually pretty good against. It's the other 13 sides, including ourselves, that you go... There's question marks over it. I think sometimes we walk into games and expect to win them, but then go, oh, God, these have actually got some tactics to try and stop us. And then we go, oh, God, what do we do? And then we panic and freeze.
They're actually trying. They've actually got decent strikers.
Yeah, Bournemouth away. Terrible Bournemouth side this season. Have done really bad in the league. And we were played off the park by him pretty much. You got Burnley who run us ragged at Old Trafford with 2 goals. And you go in, for every shot and chance that we make, and it looks good when we look at it on the statistics, I know it sounds cliche, but you only have to look at the 2 at the top, and that's what the goals are scored by.
Yeah.
And it's United have had this really big issue with walking into games expecting to beat minnows away from home, and then we've been turned over, and then we come out in the game after it and we go, we'll just have to pick our heads up and go on to the next match and keep spirits high. And it's been the same rinse repeat for years now. And these are the games that, look, if he gets beat, media and press jump all over him, rightly so, because we should be winning those games.
Yeah.
But if he wins that game, he don't get anything.
No
It's like,
credit for
3 points in the bag.
But what it does do, I think whilst you shouldn't be like, round of applause for Solskjaer as he walks into the press conference afterwards, but I think what it should do is it adds to a stat and it adds to a pattern of winning games that we need to sort of take on, regardless of who we're playing. So all of a sudden after this game, it's United have won 6 of their last 8 Premier League games, or whatever it would be. It just puts another number in that you can look back at in a few weeks if we have a good run of form and say that we've actually improved a bit. And we should be making more chances now with Fernandes. We are making. He is making more chances than his sort of counterparts and the people who he's replacing. So I think we should have enough to beat him. We should, our team is better than it was last time we played him, and we've got a bit more confidence than we did last time we played him. I think hopefully get an early goal. It should be enough to win, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if all you got to do is just kill a tie, basically, because question marks like this will be asked by the club and saying, like, look, you can beat Chelsea. You got an away goal in a European game, albeit maybe we should have won Bruges. I've seen some of the comments mentioning that Van Gaal won at Bruges. Totally different circumstances, totally different side, totally different start of the season. We started pretty well that season. Yeah. So to come off the back of that, get an away goal, whatever, I'll take it. But games like this is where Solskjaer should be saying to them, these are the games that get you in the Champions League, and these are the games that won us titles. You look at the title sides that Solskjaer won under, the important games are, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, obviously big games. But you're winning games against teams where you score in the 90th minute. Under Ferguson, how many 90th minute goals did we score against the top 6 compared to the rest of the league? Because they were the ones who dug deep, wanting a point, and then you go ahead and just absolutely get them in the last minute. And then you go, that's what, do you like those games where you go 3 points, come the end of the season, that's winning your league. Under previous managers and current management, those games just haven't happened enough. And you go, I'll tell you what one of those games could have been. You mentioned it before, Sheffield United. Yeah. When Rashford scored, that celebration in the away end and that celebration by the team looked like, whoa, hang on a minute. Have we found the formula for beating teams who... I know Sheffield United have been good this season, but have we found the formula to beat teams that we struggled to break down in the past? And then we scored, and then it was like, well, great, it's out the window now. I mean,
it's still not the worst of results in the end after how hard Sheffield United pushed us and battered us in the first half. But it did have that kind of feel of like, look, we've done it again. We've pulled out a bit of a United result, and then it didn't actually happen. What are you doing tonight then? Where are you going out?
Oh God, I'm gonna have to say something YouTube right in front of everyone.
You don't have to. No one's gonna come. Don't worry.
Oh no, going to a courtyard in town first. He's just said he'll come in.
Definitely, no one's gonna come.
Oh God, it's cheap as chips in there. It's my own pilgrimage. It's a courtyard and 42s because that's.
Are you going out with 18-year-olds?
Oh,
how old are you?
I'm 21.
Yeah, you shouldn't be going out with 18-year-olds.
Yeah, there's a few of us going. I haven't been in a week, so yeah, that's enough.
If anyone knows Courtyard in Manchester, they do the lowest quality frozen margaritas that you will ever likely drink. But they still do them in there?
Yeah, they do, but they do £9 pitchers. And they've got snooker tables and TVs and pretty good music and a very big courtyard beer garden, so it's superb.
Yeah, it is actually right there. I went on my first date with my ex-girlfriend in there. Didn't realise I'd never been in before. And she was like, do you want to go Courtyard? I was like, yeah. And then I walked in and was like, oh, this is going to go well.
It's like a student rite of passage,
This is going to go well. Yeah, I was like 23.
If anyone's watching who's been around students' places in Manchester, you'll know Courtyard. You know what it's about. So to anyone who's not in the comments, it's just a pub basically full of young'uns who put about 10 quid in a jukebox, play some good music, cheap drinks, and there's a snooker table there, so everyone always spills something on it.
And then 42s.
And then 42s is 42s.
That's your favourite place in Manchester, isn't it?
It is, because it's
your favourite night out in the world?
I haven't been anywhere in the world to go on a night out to justify it, but I'd probably compare it to 42s and go like, yeah, it is 42s.
Why do you like it so much?
Why do I like 42 so much? I like 42 so much. In this essay, I will explain.
42 so bloody much.
It's just, cheap drinks, good music, it's a good laugh, and I always go in there. I went after the Burnley game, so I was feeling well shit. And I was on the tram to Deansgate, and my mate texted me and went, do I go in 42s for one? I mean, he was like, yeah, all right, I'll go in for one.
That text in the group chat.
Yeah, about 3 hours later, and then I was like, yeah, that was painful in the morning, but nice. I like it in there. It's a good laugh. It's cheap. I've been in there with you.
Yeah, we went in.
Yeah.
That was fun. It was actually all right. It is quite good. I do get a bit sick of hearing the same songs over and over again, though.
I do, but...
Every time you go in, it is the same sort of 10 songs you guarantee to hear.
Yeah, but I've been in other nightclubs and I've gone, this isn't a bit of me. I've always gone back there and gone, this is a bit of me.
Yeah, so and also every nightclub is the same 10 songs, but it's just a different 10 depending on the nightclub. Oh, God. So I suppose you might as well pick 10 songs you like and overhear them.
Oh, yeah,
10 songs you didn't even like in the first place.
Definitely.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? So we mentioned Martial in the thumbnail. Then he's back to scoring a little bit. Mm-hmm. Do you think he is turning into a striker at last, or what do you reckon? What's going on with him?
Martial's this weird enigma in that he's got a pretty good record, and we've got his record up here. And
we prepare.
I prepare.
We prepare.
This man here was filming with full-time doubles for a preview. Yeah,
did their preview. Yeah,
so, yeah.
Check that out.
Check that out, indeed.
And then check this out.
I'll check both out.
Yeah.
And when I was looking at the stats, and Martial, right? So I'll put it in this term, right? Martial scored 14 goals in 30 matches this season for United. That's a goal every other game.
Not bad.
Ish. He scored
that is good.
9 in the Premier League in 20 games in the Premier League. So that's a goal every other game-ish. 3 in the Europa League in 4 games, which is...
very good.
I'm not going to do the maths on that. And then 1 in 2 in the FA Cup, which is a goal every other game. That equates to about 162 minutes per goal. Now, he's coming up to a 20-goal season as a striker. His first season as a striker since his first full season as a striker, because under Martial... Under himself. Under Louis van Gaal.
He lets himself down.
He loves himself. Under Van Gaal, he was obviously moved from left to right and left and centre. So that's a little bit skew width there. But his first full season, 20 goals, but
he doesn't have 20 goals yet. I know that he looks like he's going to get there.
He'll be projected. He's going to get. I mean, what is he? 6 goals off. He's got to get 6 goals by the end of the season.
He might get injured.
Surely.
You never know.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, he's 14 goals by February. Not bad.
Definitely not bad. And he's, like I said about the Enigma thing, we just said they're not bad. The stats sound really good, under 62 goals a minute. But when you watch him in games, he's so
rephrase that 162 goals per minute, he just said.
Yeah.
Which would be a great... that's even better than Messi, that. 162 minutes per goal. It's the Heineken.
It's the Heineken. It's the cans. It's the cans.
Exactly.
But no, anyway.
Yeah.
162 minutes per goal. There we go. Martial in games does frustrate me because... I don't know. I always know that he'll probably crop up and score, and I know that I'll forgive him for that. But there's times where I'm like, just, hold the ball up a bit better, make another run. But then he sort of, now he's scoring a few goals with it. And Solskjaer said that he wanted a striker who broke his nose to score a goal. The last 2 games, he's done that. And I'm starting to think now, has the penny dropped with him? Obviously form's going to be an intermediate factor. He might not score against Watford, but he might score 2 the game after and all that, so to speak. So I think that he is on his way to finally picking up a little bit of form as a number 9. I still think there is question marks over him. I do think he needs competition. I think he needs someone to push him. Whether Agallo's that person, I'm not 100% because he's a totally different player to Martial.
Yeah.
But I feel that Martial is much better suited to that up-front position, like how Rashford is much better suited to that left-wing position this season.
Yeah, I think Martial being just a dead set to play up top has also just given Rashford that left-hand side role, like I said, and it's pushed him into being... a star pretty much, Rashford, this season. And you look at the stats, like I said, it's pretty much a goal every other game, which is always the mark of a good striker. If you're getting a goal every other game, you're a good player, because that means you probably get 22, 23 goals in 45 games in the season, whatever you end up playing.
Yeah.
And that's excellent, but it is just that thing of his hold-up play isn't that good still. His attacking positioning is questionable.
Yeah.
He doesn't always get in those positions where he's getting on the end of things. I think he could have got more goals than he's had.
Yeah.
But 162 minutes per goal, that's really good.
It is
and
really
he's
good,
always had a good minutes per goal ratio at United. But the problem with him is he has never played enough minutes in a season to get 25 goals, whether that's because he's injured or whether that's because he's not first choice because he's not playing that well.
Yeah.
Or he's had, Ibrahimovic, Lukaku and Rashford in front of him in the past. So his minutes per goal, like I said, has always been excellent, and yet managers consistently don't give him enough minutes to score 25 goals a season, which makes me think there is something going on there.
I think as well, don't forget the players that he's had servicing him all season have been Lingard and Pereira, which doesn't help because they're utter garbage.
Yeah.
But now he's got Bruno Fernandes in there, who will probably spot those runs that he does make, because... he does make a lot of runs. Pereira is not good at the final ball. We all know that. Lingard is god-awful at final ball. We all know that.
Yeah.
Now we've got someone who actually does have a good through ball on him, a good cross on him. Everything's just good about Fernandes in terms of that aspect. That's what I'm getting at. So Martial's boost is probably going to come from that. I feel like Martial as well, suffers from inconsistency in terms of he'll score 5 goals in 5 games, and then he won't score for 4. But then he'll score 6 in 3, and then he'll score none. So over the course of a season, if you averaged it out, looks very good. But emotionally at the time, you go, he's the most frustrating player we've got because he's hot and cold, not dependent on his own self, because his style of play hasn't changed. It's just totally dependent on what chances fall for him. And I think that now if we get a bit of consistency with Fernandes, wherever he's going to play him, hopefully it's Nate, and he's got Fred as well alongside him who can also pick out a pass sometimes. I start to think that now maybe Martial might find a player that he can sort of trust that he will make the runs. Because I feel like he had that with Pogba, but because Pogba's obviously not there when it actually matters, he sort of loses a bit of faith in him and goes like, well, I can't really trust you because you're not on the pitch half the time. Yeah. Whereas now with Fernandes, it's like, will you be that sort of hub that I can get my balls off, the Bergkamp to my Henry.
Make those runs and I'll find you with the balls.
Yeah, like the Bergkamp to the Henry, the Iniesta to the Messi, that sort of like duo partnership. There's always one who gets all the accolade, but it's always the other player who sort of helped set them up all the time or was the driving force behind a lot of their goals. Fernandes could be that player because, like I said, Lingard and Pereira are not doing that whatsoever. And you could put Messi, you could put Ronaldo, you could put Lewandowski, Suarez, any host of strikers in front of them. If they've got Lingard and Pereira supporting you from behind...
Yeah, you're never going to get 40 goals a season with them two there, right?
Exactly, yeah.
You talked about Pogba then. He's back at Carrington.
Yes.
Is that a weird thing? Man turns up for work, headline?
It is a bit of a weird thing, man turns up for work, because man hasn't turned up for work for the last 3 months, despite being supposedly fit.
No, he's injured.
Well, he is injured, yeah, but... I mean...
I don't get... I never quite understand when a player gets their own... treatment elsewhere when they get it at Carrington. What are our men for if it's not to do that sort of thing? I know we're probably surgeons at the club, but I wonder why the rehab doesn't seem to take place at Carrington a lot of times anymore.
I get really worried when I see a player who puts training videos on Instagram because the last few times I've seen that, those players have been Damian, those players have been Schneiderlin, and those players have been Memphis Depay, also Daily Blind. So there's 4 players there. You all know what the correlation is. They all left very soon after those videos went out. Now, I'm not worried about Pogba going because he's burnt his bridges with me personally. I defended him to the hill, and I can't be bothered defending him anymore.
He's texted you saying you're an arsehole, Adam, didn't he?
Yeah, he has, and I blocked his number. So sorry, Paul, if you're watching this. You're not. I don't care. But yeah, with Pogba, it's one of them where you go, everything's lining up for him to leave, and this circus pantomime is only going to be dragged on till summer unless it all just gets sorted now. And I wish sometimes he would just sort of come out and silence the rumours. He's not. That
if he came out and signed a new contract,
go.
Would you be like, okay, cool? Or would you be like, oh, for fuck's sake, I don't like him and he's staying?
Well, yeah, because I would be okay, cool, because that then would show his actual intention.
Because the thing you don't like is the fact that he's taking the piss out of United by having his agent say this, his brothers are saying this, he never comes out and...
Look.
So if he came out and said, you know what, there's been a lot of rumours, I've decided I want to dedicate my future to United, I've signed a 5-year contract, he's here till he's 31, you'd be like, right, cool, let's do it.
Yeah, because it'd show that he'd actually want to stay at United, that the club want to keep him, that he wants to stay, and that, everything's been sorted. But the fact of the matter is that every time that Pogba's ever asked about his future whatsoever, he just isn't asked about silencing anything to do with his agent. He just doesn't seem bothered about United, and then he comes out and he's like, "Oh yeah, obviously I'm bothered about United because I come here as an academy player. I'm the sort of big boy in terms of like I'm the name on the back of the shirt that the club wants to sell." And it's like, no, if you don't want to be here, just come out and say it, and I don't care. Because it might just not work out. Could you imagine this, right? If I'm a footballer and I go and play for Barcelona, and I'm doing pretty good at Barcelona, I've got a few assists on my name, I've got a few goals, won a few trophies, but I'm like, I just don't feel it here. I just don't feel it here.
Yeah.
Now, would you rather run all the fans on a merry-go-round who've praised you and cheered your name for ages to the point of total confusion and embarrassment, or would you rather me come out and go, do you know what? I'm going to be quite honest with you. I've loved my time while I've been here, but I think it's time that I just moved on.
Yeah, because sometimes,
and I'll respect you if you respect me. And then you go, okay.
There must be some players that play for teams who don't want to be there, but still just play, and you don't hear the rumours, you don't hear their agents coming out.
Yeah.
Because not everyone's happy all the time everywhere. Like, it seems like Matic was probably ready to leave.
Yeah.
But it looks as though he might stay another season now.
Yeah, because he backed up his... He sort of didn't spit his dummy out and didn't strop around the pitch. He went, do you know what? Why not? I'll grab it by the scruff of the neck and I'll do all right. I remember he come on in the City game when we got beaten in the League Cup 3-1, and the game changed after he come on, and the rate of his sort of of our clean sheets, went up after he started coming back into the team, which is just a byproduct of how got the cough.
It's a joint cough. It's a Paddock cough.
Hashtag Paddock cough. And I just think that he needed to sort of come back into the side. And he hasn't. Solskjaer's been very cryptic about, he's back in 4 weeks, and 4 weeks pass. He's not, he's back in another 4 weeks, and another week back. But then he puts a video on his Instagram of him running about, and you go, well, if he's running about, why isn't he in training? And then look at Andre Gomez. I think Andre Gomez has broke his leg and been out, come back into full training since the time that Pogba's been out for whatever he's done. I understand that he had surgery, but, it's one of them where you go, just show a bit of, just do an interview. Just come out and just do an interview with Sky or whatever, and just, label all your intentions. Remember when he first come to United, did the interview with Henri?
Yeah.
And he was talking about how, and everything was so
fucking excited.
Oh, I love being
there. I thought we would have won the league
by
now, Because we'd got Mourinho, we'd got Pogba, we'd got Zlatan. I thought we'd be sitting here now. We won the league in 2016-17. Never happened.
Yeah, I mean, under Mourinho, the signings that he brought in, you bring Bailly, Mkhitaryan, Zlatan and Pogba, you went, oh my God, this is a very good transfer window. And then you add on to that in January, and then you add on to it in the new year. I mean, that kind of happened. Third year, the wheels fell off the bus totally, but all the signs were there of having a good side.
Yeah.
And then Pogba was obviously the key sort of players who maybe were bought might tail off, or they might go elsewhere, or they might get too old and go. But Pogba was always giving that one constant throughout all that. Yeah. Like you said, winners a title, but it's just not happened.
It's just not happened. We're going to be coming toward the end soon because it's a very late podcast, as I'm sure you're all aware. But tonight we've got Late Night Live coming back at 10 o'clock. I'll be doing that. So be sure to tune in for that. And also, all the podcasts that we do are available on Spotify, iTunes, and wherever you get your podcasts from. So it's not just on YouTube. If you want to download them, we've got all the back catalogue on there, all the House and Brews, all the different podcasts we do. So make sure you check them out. And also, the best 5-star review, if you go into iTunes, leave a 5-star review. The best one will get a mug sent to you from us. We'll pick it out on the House and Brew on Monday, and we'll send you... we'll send you a mug. That's all right, isn't it? A little mug for leaving a review. That's a fair trade.
Brew. Yeah, why not?
We'll be back tomorrow as well for all the build-up. Not tomorrow, what am I about? We're back tomorrow for the build-up to the Watford game with the preview, and then we'll be back, of course, on Sunday for the Watford match. Give me a little prediction, actually, for the Watford game.
I think it'll be 2-0 United.
Yeah, I think 2-0 United as well. So be sure to tune in for all that. But again, like I said, Late Night Live coming back again tonight at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, lads. Right, have a good night tonight. Adam, be careful, be safe. Do you like a takeaway after a night out?
Yes, I do.
What do you go for?
We normally go in the takeaway over the road from 42s.
Is
if
it
you know
Top
what I'm
Cappy?
about. Was it?
Top Cappy?
I'm not sure. I don't really know the name of it because normally my vision's too blurred by then. There or Oxford Street McDonald's. But Joseph, I will look after myself as long as you look after yourself.
I'll be looking after
sponsored
myself.
by Cans.
I'll be looking after myself.
What cans are you going for today?
Cronenberg again? Stella's, mate.
Oh, Stella.
Yeah, the pint tinny.
Sheila goes out with her, mate. Stella.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
And I'm trying to get old Cam from the studio to come out for a few drinks as well. So
we'll get a Cam on.
We'll work on that. We'll work on that. It's up early in the morning, but aren't we all, mate? Right. Thank you very much for joining us. Again, we'll be back for the preview tomorrow, and we'll be back on Sunday for all that fun stuff. See you later, lads.
See you in a bit.